Cream soda.
It's not beer. So they want to know the secrets to booking a suite at the Shades of Green.
Yeah, so do we want to tell them? Because it's going to make it harder for us to get a room.
Since we like you, we'll share. But I think before we get into the secrets, I think we need to kind of go over the history of the Shades of Green just a little bit, just as far as the size of the rooms go and all of that.
Yeah. So Contemporary has a little under 700 rooms. Polynesian, you're sitting somewhere around 850. Grand Floridian has about 860.
So they all have considerably more rooms than Shades of Green.
Yeah.
However, Shades of Green rooms are bigger. So with all that being said, it's a little bit harder to book a room at the Shades of Green than it is at one of the monorail deluxe resorts because there's fewer, it's in higher demand.
It's a cheaper price.
Etc., etc. But it's so popular that back in 2002, they had to shut the Shades of Green down so that they could build more rooms. So it actually wasn't always 600 rooms. It was less.
Right. And during that time, you could actually still book a room through Shades of Green, and they would put you up in
The Contemporary. Yeah. It was so wild.
I wish we would have known about it.
I know. I really wish. Because can you imagine booking at Shades for $100 or whatever it was back then, and then getting put up in the Contemporary?
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if that's even going to happen again because it's so popular. It's pretty hard to book a room these days unless you have this vacation planned out like a year in advance.
Right.
I'm curious to see if this will happen again or if anybody at Shades has plans on building another wing or just another section.
Yeah. Now, it seems like every time we go there, they're always building something in the area.
Well, they were doing construction at the golf courses.
Mm-hmm.
While it is harder to book a room at the Shades of Green, we have found a few different tips that have helped us along the way. We've been able to book several suites within the last couple years, and we found a few little tricks to make it a little bit easier. So we just want to share those with you.
Well, you found them. I didn't find it.
I found them. Mm-hmm. I shared them with Tim, and now I'm going to share them with you.
Before we get into the suites, we should just mention that the standard rooms and the poolside rooms, the price are all based on rank. So there's 5 suites.
5 different suites.
There's 5.
And those are all one flat rate. So it doesn't matter what your rank is.
Right.
If you want to stay in a suite and be bougie, then you're all going to pay the same thing. You want me to name them off?
You have memorized?
Yeah. So we have the junior suite, we have the family suite, we have the garden suite, we have the palm suite, and we have the Big Daddy Magnolia suite.
That's right. She hasn't memorized. All right, so they range in square footage from 650 square feet at the junior suite all the way up to a whopping 1,800 square foot apartment with the Magnolia suite.
Yeah, it's 2 bedrooms. It's got the full fridge, full kitchen, all of that. So I will also say, before we get through all of this, that we have videos for all of these rooms except for the garden suite. And I'm going to link that playlist down below if you're interested in seeing a tour of all the rooms, seeing like what exactly is included, how many people can stay in each one, and all of that. We'll quickly run through the prices of all of these suites. I don't have them memorized, so I am going to refer to my notes, my lovely notepad. But the junior suite is $379, the garden suite is $409, the family suite is also $409, palm suite is $589, and the Magnolia suite is a whopping $669.
Now, dollars a night.
Dollars per night, and that is a price based on 4 adults, up to 4 adults. If you're going to have any more people than 4 adults, it's going to be $15 per each additional adult.
So that's the prices now. This year.
Yeah, that'll go up until October, actually September 30th.
Yeah. So once October 1st hits, new fiscal year for the Army, prices go up.
For the military.
Yeah, new fiscal year for the military, prices go up.
It is a big jump for the suites. I will say like the standard rooms and the poolside rooms, they only go up like $10 roughly. But the suites go up a bit more.
Comparison, after October 1st, the junior suite was $379. It's jumping up to $434. Garden suite was $409. Now it's jumping up $464.
Same for the family suite.
Same for the family suite. Palm suite was $589. Now it'll be $674. And then the Magnolia suite, old Big Daddy, $669 is what it was. It's jumping up to $754 a night. Do prices ever go down?
No.
Another thing about the suites is how many suites are there, right? We know there's 5 types, but how many of each type or each category are there? Well, we know that the Magnolia suite and the Palm suite, there's one.
There's only one of each of those. I believe that there's only one family suite and one garden suite as well.
And the reason we say we think we know there's only one is because on the website it says, "Come enjoy our garden suite."
And the family suite.
Right.
As opposed to the junior suite, it says our junior suites.
Right.
And the junior suite is actually the easiest of all of the suites to get.
Yeah.
I always see those available. I never see the garden suite available, and I think that's why that's the last one we have to try. We've never been in that one. So, one day.
I guess now we'll get into our 5 tips. Well, her 5 tips that she came up with.
Well, these are my 5 strategies to getting one of these suites.
So, number 1, you can book a room 1 year in advance. So today is February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Instead of going out on a date, we're here giving our tips to you guys. So we love you.
So I can book a room all the way till February 14th next year. I can't do February 15th. I can do February 15th tomorrow.
I would just say, if you know what time of year you want to go, and if you have it narrowed down to the dates that you want to go or have to go, then just be prepared for booking a year in advance. So get on the website at midnight, 365 days before you're planning on going, and be ready to click book, because they go that quick. And that goes for all categories, standard, poolside, and all of the suites. I would say the second tip is probably the easiest thing that you could do, and that's just simply be flexible with your dates. If you're just deciding that you want to go to Disney, stay in a suite at Shades of Green, but you don't really care when it is, then you could just look it up.
So why don't we get on the website and show them?
Okay, so I'll invite you guys to the screen so you can see what I mean. Okay, so we're going to start out at the home screen on the Shades of Green website, and we're going to look at the check-in dates right here and put in February 14th through February 18th. And we're just going to say book now. And yes, I'm eligible. So now that we're in the calendar, you can see what days are available and what days are not. It looks like there's many that are not available. So what I'm going to do to get one of the suites is I'm going to go up here to the guest section, and I'm going to put in 6 adults because our smallest suite will hold 6 people. Even though it's just Tim and I'm going to put this in anyways because this is going to narrow down my search to show me what's available for the suites. And if I keep going from month to month, you'll notice that even fewer days are available. We'll go all the way over here to May, and here's a good chunk of days together. So we'll do May 21st through May 24th. Click search, and boom, we have a family suite right here available for $439 a night. And then we can keep going and see if there's anything else available. Maybe June has something different. Let's see, maybe we'll just narrow that down to the 12th and 13th and see if that... There we go. So here is the Palm Suite. If you want to go to the Palm Suite, June 12th through the 13th, it's right there. Now, this brings me to my next tip. And that is, say I want to go between June 12th and June 17th, but clearly I've only got a couple days that are available here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to book these dates that are available, and then I'm going to just obsessively check the calendar between now and June to see if any of these dates open. If one day becomes available, I'm going to book that as well under a separate reservation. And I'm going to do that each time until I get all of the dates that I need. Once I get all of the dates that I need, I can call Shades of Green, have them alter my reservation, and combine all of those dates into one reservation number. And now that's only going to work if I'm booking the same category. So I can't do that if I'm doing one standard room one day and the Palm Suite another day. It's only going to work if I'm booking the Palm Suite all the way through, or if I'm doing the Magnolia Suite all the way through those dates. It has to be the same room category.
Maybe you want to see a different room, right? So maybe you want to stay in a Palm Suite for a couple nights and then go back to the standard room just because it's cheaper, save a little bit of money. We've done it.
Mm-hmm.
We've done it also because the Palm Suite was only available certain days. Our trip was longer than that, so we had to go to a smaller room.
And you can do that, but you're going to have to check out of the first room and then recheck in for the second.
After 3 p.m.
Right.
Yeah. So
So
it's kind of a hassle, but you just pack up the truck, you go to the park for the day, you come back, your room's ready. It's no big deal.
You don't even have to pack up the truck if you don't want to. You could leave all of your stuff with the front desk and they will hold it for you. I've called and asked them that specifically, and that's what they told me that they would do. And if you ask them nicely and just say, I'm transferring rooms, how early can I get in? Sometimes the staff will expedite that for you and allow you to check in earlier than that.
So a question I had was, we're looking at the website, as it said, the Palm Suites, it sleeps 10 people. So, and you can see it on this. The price said $619, right? So the reason it said $619 is because we had 6 guests.
Mm-hmm.
So up to 4 guests is going to be $589. Those 2 extra guests are going to be $15 a person. And that gives you $619.
So if you have $589 plus the $30 extra for your 2 extra people, that makes it $619 a night. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the price of these suites. If you have more than 4 adults, it's going to be $15 more per person.
Mm.
So if you're not the kind of person that has the time during the day to sit there on the computer and stalk it until something becomes available, you do have the option to call in and get on the wait list. If you just tell them what room you're looking for, what dates you need, you can be put on that wait list and they'll notify you when they notice that it becomes available. I'm the kind of person that doesn't want to rely on somebody else to check that for me. I feel like I can do a little bit better. I don't want to say better, but like I'm going to be checking more because I'm more invested in my vacation than they are, right?
Exactly.
So I'm going to be checking all the time. But it's an option. If you just want to have that extra layer of security, that's something that you could do too.
Shades of Green will allow you to cancel your reservation up to 30 days before your arrival date with no penalty. There's always cancellations that happen throughout the year. Check the calendar 30 days before your trip. You'll probably find some cancellations.
Yeah, so if you have like 2 days already booked, but you're still waiting on those final 3 days, just make sure that you're on 30 days before those dates, and then you have a good chance of getting those dates.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you have everything finalized, you have all the dates you want, make sure it's locked in, everybody in the family agrees, there's not going to be any more changes. Make sure all of that is concrete before you call Shades of Green and have them give you one final reservation number. Because once you have that, that's when you take that number and you put it into the app in your My Disney Experience. Once you link that number into My Disney Experience, it is a headache to try to change it. Because once you have it, that tells Disney that you're staying at Shades, and then you can enter the parks early and make all your reservations and your lightning lanes and all of that.
And Shades of Green uses a different reservation number than Disney.
Yeah.
That whole process?
They don't communicate well. So it's just going to save you a lot of time and a lot of headaches if you just make sure that you have your final reservation number before you start plugging that into My Disney Experience. That really doesn't have anything to do with the suites.
Yeah.
But it does if you book a suite this way and you have to tie into all your reservations into one. Just make note of that because we have had that issue before. So we have a little bonus tip for you that's not really a tip to getting a suite, but If you try all these things and you still aren't able to get the suite you want on the dates that you need, you could always book 2 standard rooms and request that you get connecting rooms. And you need to say specifically that you want connecting rooms, because if you say adjoining, they won't be connected with the door in between. They might just be across the hall or adjacent to one another. But if you specifically put the word connecting in your request, then you'll most likely get the 2 rooms with the connecting door in between. And that's not terrible. I mean, you're going to have a lot of space.
Yeah.
You have a separate door between you. So if you have 2 families or, extended family staying with you, they'll be right there.
Yeah.
Still got 2 bathrooms. It could be, the way to go if you don't want to spend the extra money on a suite.
Mm-hmm. Especially since they're going way up in price.
Yeah, so like $379 a night, and then a standard room is what, $173? Is that what it is right now?
Based on rate, yeah.
So if you get 2 standard rooms, it's $346 at the lowest price, and then the junior suite is $379. So something to consider. Anyways, I hope this was helpful for you. A lot of you've probably already considered some of these things before, or maybe even done it yourselves, or you just had no idea how to get one, and every time you log in, there's nothing available. But I think if you try some of these tips, you'll have better luck getting one of those suites. I hope you do, because they are nice. It's nice to have a suite, especially the Magnolia, if you can get that one.
I haven't been there.
I know. I went there with my friend Megan. If you guys haven't seen that, I'll link that below too so you can see it. But it's a big room. It's really nice.
These Shades of Green videos are really doing good.
Well, you guys seem to like them a lot, so that's why we kind of been coming up with more topics to talk about.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below if you guys have a specific question about the resort or about anything that has to do with Disney, and we can give you our experience and opinions on all those things. If you want to know about magic bands, we've done a video on that. If you want to know about different ticket options, then we have a video about that. We have videos about the buses. I know that's a question that gets asked a lot, so maybe we need to do a specific video about that. But we'll keep them coming as long as you guys want to know more. So you just need to let us know what you want to hear. So that's going to do it for this installment of the Shades of Green vacation planning. But remember to always be happy,
not just drunk.